How's it going, oh my gummy friends? It is Gummy Bear here again. This video is going to be a bit more serious than my other videos. One sec. So this video is going to be a bit more of a serious video. I've done a bit of an experiment lately. For the last week, I deleted all social media from my phone. And also from my computer. I'm in a public complex and there's always people walking up and down, so I get self-conscious that people are listening in. Anyway, so most of you might know me for my offensive, crazy, messed up humor. And I do make offensive, crazy, messed up humor as well. But under the whole thing, I also have suffered with anxiety for years now, and I'm not talking about just getting a little anxious before an exam. I'm talking full-blown anxiety attacks and panic attacks. Basically, what I would do is I would try to numb myself. So what I would do is I would go to social media. This includes Instagram, this includes YouTube, this includes Snapchat, this social media basically. Not Twitter and Facebook, which is weird because I never really did that. But then I noticed, because my exams were recently, that my anxiety has been through the roof. So what I decided to do was, once my exams were over, I was going to delete it all for 1 week and see if my anxiety or any other if any other issues I had would arise or make themselves more prevalent. Now I'm going to try and keep this video lighthearted and everything, but it's gonna get a little eh. So what I decided to do was, once I had deleted my social media, I deleted it on a Monday. Now, sadly, there's no footage to show because, again, I wanted to get it far away from social media. I also forgot to mention, as far from social media and technology as possible. So I didn't only get rid of social media, I also just would get away from my computer and just get away from as much technology as possible, only keeping my phone with me in case of emergencies and to check the time and stuff like that. Of course, I first let people know that I was going to do this. And then I just deleted everything from my phone. I deleted Instagram, I deleted Snapchat, I deleted Pinterest, I deleted YouTube, and I believe I also deleted Tumblr, which I barely ever use but still get notifications for. And almost instantly I started to notice the effects. Not benefits, but quite the opposite actually. I started to notice this like addiction I had developed for it. I started to not really have withdrawals, but it started to show how badly it had gotten. So what would happen is, for example, if I would go to the bathroom, I would, like muscle memory, I would bring my phone. Why would I need my phone to go to the bathroom? Like, yeah, okay, people do it, but really why? So this was an example of how bad it had gotten at some point. And also just during the day, I would just be doing something and I would just almost like instinctively check my phone, even though I would get no notifications and I knew the time. So it just showed that I would just almost like muscle memory, I would just keep lifting my phone to check if anything happened. And that really started to affect me in a way because it just showed how bad it had gotten. But what I think was very surprising is, after about 3 days, so around Wednesday, the effects were getting positive. I was more active outside as well, because some of you know this, some of you don't. I homeschool, right? So I sometimes have to be indoors for days on end and not even leave the house for days and days on end. And the last week, almost every single day, I have gone for extensive walks in the forest, almost every day. I think like almost 5 out of the 7 days I went walking in some way or form and hit almost 10,000 steps, which I think is good. Another thing is my productivity went up. As you can see, I'm in my art studio because I got ideas again. I got creative. I got, I wanted to paint more. I wanted to make more clothing designs, So I kept being more imaginative, and I just became more motivated as well. So my motivation went up, and I don't know why, but like by the end of the week, I did what normally would have been an entire month for me. What I would normally do in a month on social media, I did in a week without social media. And remember, all of this because I deleted 4 apps off my phone. So it just shows that we as a human species, we've become so obsessed with all this like technology and interconnectedness, if that makes sense. We need, it's an addiction basically. We need to know it. And actually what's funny is I discovered that anxiety can be directly linked to social media and your phone. And what makes it so weirdly fascinating but also kind of scary is that every time you get a notification, a buzz on your phone, a pinging noise, whatever, that spikes your adrenaline. And adrenaline is there for fight or flight responses. So what happens is every time you get a ping, it spikes your adrenaline just a little bit. And what happens in turn is that there's no place for the adrenaline to go, because there's no fear, there's no danger, right? So it raises your anxiety. So your anxiety goes up. And it got so bad at one point. Now, this is where it gets a bit bad, because during this week I probably had the single worst panic attack of my entire life. It was so bad that I literally was thinking I'm going to die. So what happened is, it was like 12:30 at night. I won't get into too many details, but just the basics of it. It was about 12:30 at night, and I woke up, and this car had stopped, but they were standing still outside of my house, and the engine was playing a frequency. Now, there is a real frequency, you can look it up. It's called the fear frequency, and it's a specific hertz range where you can actually feel anxiety and anxious. So what happened is the car was emitting this fear frequency, and when your brain isn't 100% there yet, because it's 12:30 at night and you just kind of woke up because you need the bathroom, and you're kind of in that state of daze and just kind of, I'm just going to stumble to the bathroom. This frequency, I heard it, and the thing is, with these specific frequencies is, it doesn't have to be loud, but what makes it scary is even if you plug your ears, you can still hear it. Because what happens is, it travels through you, right? So even if I had my ears closed, I was at one point sitting on my bed, just like this, with my hands over my ear, cupping my ears as tight as I could, trying to block it, and it sent me down a spiral. It was so scary that, like I said, I thought, there was a split-second moment where I almost thought I was dying. And that's not bullshit. I'm not bullshitting here. That really happened. And it was so scary. I couldn't sleep for the rest of the night. I was awake the whole night, and I had to tell my parents the next day, and luckily they were understanding, and they just helped me kind of ground myself again the next day, but it fucked me up, really. So around day 4, it kind of went downhill. Well, of course, some of my friends knew. Apparently not all my friends knew, so I texted them. What happened was, I noticed that I naturally started to substitute texting with Snapchat with texting. Well, everything I used to do on Snapchat, I would start doing while texting. And I instantly recognized it again, and I told my friends, listen, can you guys not send me any photos or like spam me? Because I noticed that it was creating the same effect again. What I would do is, I would then also completely switch off my phone and leave it far away from me to reduce it, which then again brought me back on the path. But what I also think was the effect of that was also the fact that what I was doing was basically going cold turkey. Yeah, and social media. So I went cold turkey on technology and social media. It's a thumbnail title. But now it's Sunday, and I feel great. So, yeah, I have benefited very, very well from this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you guys with a message. And I think I'm gonna make this, because that's the internet, I think I'm gonna make this a challenge. Is the Technology Cold Turkey Challenge, is what I'm gonna call it. The challenge is to delete all forms of social media from your phone for 1 week and notice the difference. And I think quite quickly people will notice, and this challenge applies more to teenagers than adults, because I've noticed adults are able to make more wise decisions. No. So, yeah, the idea is get rid of all social media off your phone, off your computers, off mobile devices, any kind of mobile devices, and that's including laptops and everything, because that's a mobile device, for a whole week. See how it affects you, and really observe how it changed, or how your life is changed because of it. I think quite quickly you'll notice little things, like for example, maybe the bus ride to your school is a bit longer than usual, or maybe the ride or the walk to your school is a bit longer than usual, you know? It's those little things you'll notice that really get to you, and they'll really start to affect you emotionally as well. Like, you really start to think, damn, I'm really wasting time here. We've grown so attached to fucking a piece of metal with a bit of glass on it, you know? Heck, maybe a bit of plastic here and out, a little signal, a transmitter, boom, done. Ones and zeros. That's all we're staring at. And that's what we decide is important, you know? So really try and focus on spending more time and showing more love, because that's going to show quite quickly as well, I think, for most people, is you become more emotionally charged. So I'm going to leave you guys with the challenge. Take your phone and all your technology and delete all social media off of it for an entire week, and see how it affects you, because you might just be surprised how little we at this point as a human species really look at the important things, which is friends, family, good food, you know, those things, art, drawing, you know, feeling just things, go outside, looking at the rain, looking at the sun, looking at the clouds, you know. Now we look at clouds on Google Images, or we are on the cloud. They're right out there. Take 4 steps to a window and look up, you know? It's stuff like that, you know, and I'm gonna leave it with that. Appreciate your friends. Hold your family close. Hug the people you love. Hug the people you hate even tighter. That's my video. It's a bit of a rant, I'm sorry, but I needed to tell someone. I needed to let it out some way, and this was my decision. So, if you sneeze during this video, bless you, and get the fuck off your phones.